Look at the news today. Can you believe it? A 40-year-old man asked a black woman to give him her seat because no other seats were available. Incredible, isn't it? Luckily, the woman refused, and the man was booed by all the other passengers. I hope he gets prosecuted and fined. I thought that blacks and whites were equal today. I'm obviously wrong. I hope that these kind of people are in a minority. Do you know that exactly the same episode happened in the USA on the 1st of December 1955? More exactly, in Montgomery, Alabama, a small town in the south of the country. Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks, a black woman, refused to give up her seat when a white man ordered her to get up and move to the back of the bus. In fact, the front 4 rows of the bus were reserved for the whites, and the blacks had to sit at the back of the bus. They could sit in the middle if the seats were available. Now, if a white wanted a seat occupied by a black person, then the latter had to get up and move to the back of the bus. Mrs. Rosa Parks was sat in the middle of the bus. But she refused to obey this stupid law when a white man ordered her to get up and leave. The fact is that in the mid-50s, being black in America meant being confronted daily with humiliation again and again. They couldn't drink from the same water fountains as the whites, and their children had to walk to school because they were forbidden to use the school buses, and segregation reigned in all public places. It was at this time that a feeling of resistance began to take shape. Certainly, the blacks considered that the situation had gone on for long enough, and that something had to change before it was too late. And resistance began. History will always remember Rosa Parks's no to the bus driver who asked her to get up and leave the seats reserved for the whites. How brave she was! She knew that she would be arrested. But what did it matter, considering the formidable movement that she was giving birth to? She was given a $10 fine, but she appealed against the decision. If she had paid, she would have been admitting that she was guilty. By lodging an appeal, she showed America that she was the victim of an injustice that had to be fought and vanquished. And a 26-year-old minister thought the same. He was Martin Luther King, and this was his first experience as a lawyer. But who was he exactly? Well, Martin Luther King was an active militant in favor of the blacks. And like Rosa Parks, he believed that their situation in the community had to improve. He was also a learned man who had read many books, and amongst those that had influenced him were the books of the American author Henry David Thoreau and Gandhi, 2 men who lauded civil and passive disobedience. So, what did Martin Luther King do for Rosa Parks? Well, with a group of militants, he started a protest campaign and organized a boycott of the city bus line that would last for 381 days and would cost the bus company a huge amount of money. It happened exactly like this. About 50 Afro-Americans living in Montgomery met in the church and decided to help Rosa Parks. She was their sister, and she had done nothing wrong by standing up for her rights. Martin Luther King was elected the president of the association they founded that day, the Montgomery Improvement Association. Nonviolence and civil disobedience were to be their watchwords. They immediately made 3 demands. They wanted the blacks to be able to sit anywhere on the bus. They wanted the bus drivers to be more courteous towards the blacks. And they wanted the blacks to be hired by the bus company. From the beginning of Rosa Parks' trial right up until the end, the blacks refused to get on a bus, which was very prejudicial towards the bus company, as 75% of its users were blacks. On the 13th of November 1956, the Supreme Court of America declared that segregation on buses was unconstitutional. The bus boycott ceased soon afterwards. What a victory it was! But neither Parks nor King stopped fighting then. Rosa Parks' fight for civil rights was crowned with success in 1964 when the segregationist laws were repealed and the Civil Rights Act forbid all forms of discrimination in public places. The year after, in 1965, the Voting Rights Act was passed, and people no longer had to pay taxes or pass tests to have the right to vote. As far as Martin Luther King is concerned, we all know that in September 1964, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace, 1 year after his famous "I Have a Dream" speech in Washington. Both Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King are legends for the black community in North America today. Well, I hope that you've learned something new today. I'll see you soon. Bye.